Okay. Okay. GM.
GM.
How you doing, Loaf?
Yeah, well, mate. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. I'm excited about the very first episode of the Jangle,
We
which
jangle
is
in here.
Jangle, which is our the new bi-weekly Realms community update call, where it's just a quick 20-minute, ideally, episode where we run through the state of play with the game. And initially, it's Loaf and I just having a bit of a chat. But in future, we'll pull more team members and maybe even community members and whoever else wants to come on into this. But the primary focus is getting a kind of update of what's happening, what's going on at the moment in the Biblio team. So talking about things like the development, state of development in terms of the contracts, the game design, any partnerships, that kind of thing. Then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Starknet, the state of the network, some community news, and then we will wrap up with how you, as somebody in the community or interested in the game, can get involved. First things first, though, just to explain the Jangle. So Jangle is, found it here, known as jangling in Middle English. Gossip was believed to corrupt parishioners, disturb the peace, and cause civil and spiritual unrest, which sounds perfect for a conversation.
Perfect.
Gossip was also a productive cultural force. It reconfigured pastoral practice, catalyzed narrative, experimentation, and restructured social and familial relationships.
Well, sounds perfect. Well, how
Thank,
fitting.
thanks goes out to Susan Phillips, who never in a million years, where she was writing her book, would feel that they would be appropriate for a podcast discussing a on-chain video game. So appreciated, Susan. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
So, man, how are you going? How's things?
Good. Just, hacking and chipping away like I do every day. But everything's good. The world is continuing to spin with all the craziness that's happening. It's definitely been an exciting week in crypto since my in all my time in crypto. This has been a couple of weeks really. The whole UST thing, that was pretty bananas. But I mean, to be honest, I used to look at the market a lot more before starting this project. Now I don't look at it that much.
Yeah.
Coin market cap used to be a frequently visited page. Now it's like once every couple of days.
For sure. If you want to take your mind off the markets, get involved, build something, get close to a project that you like, and it will take over that time. Yeah, it will take over that time.
Now's the time. Like I've watched crypto come up and down a few times, and in 2018 or 2017, into 2017 when it popped, I was investing, I was playing around, and I kind of still got caught up in real life business, and it was a mistake because I should have just kept building basically. And you look at the guys now that did, and you got your Delphi Digitals, some of the podcasters out there. That's exactly what they did. The high conviction was there, and they kept building, and it's exactly what's going to happen this time. We're just beholden to the macro conditions. So,
yeah, I agree. This is a perfect time to build, and nothing's really changed in terms of the longer term thesis, and in my perspective, anyway. So, okay, cool. Well, I think that this is probably the first time that you've been on. Except for a conversation with Matchbox. It's the first time on the Jangle, first time jangling. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. But post Amsterdam, which was your intention for going out there was to go and do a little bit of biz dev, meet people, and take part in the Starknet hackathon. How did it go?
Exactly as expected. I met you, fine sir, and we had a good 10 days, didn't we? When it was kind of crazy, going as a pseudo to this event. Although I'm not really that pseudo, but everybody knows my face now that went there. It was just 2 weeks of nonstop crypto talk, and it was very rewarding and enlightening. Meeting all the people there that I've been talking to for the last 6 months on Discord or on some voice chats, but meeting them in face to face and just jamming on things. It was I achieved exactly what I hoped I could there. And then to round it all up, we we won the Starknet hackathon with the bricks guys and the topology guy. So yeah, that was insane. But yeah, I mean, I think going there really made me. It was really quite clear that on-chain gaming is still so early, and no one's really nailed it. So that was. I mean, I knew we were early, but like, it's not a meme. We are actually really early in this whole on-chain gaming ecosystem. So that was bigger.
I think from spending time with the people who are either Starknet pilled and on-chain game pilled, they're a super talented and incredibly passionate bunch. People who are really interested in gaming and have been gaming their entire lives, and now, they're not doing this because they're not moving into the space and wanting to participate in this space because they think it's a financial goer. They're in it because they're super passionate about the kind of the concept, the philosophy, and where it's going to go. So I found that really, it was amazing meeting all the kind of, the mix of people there were blockchain natives who think, Web3 first. And then there are people there who are Web2 thinking about, okay, how do we create, a crypto game? And so there was such a blend of human beings and so much insight shared at the talks that I'd highly recommend watching through the videos, the presentations. I have posted some of them in my feed. I should dig them out, and maybe we'll get them posted onto the Biblio feed or drop them into the Discord. Actually, that would make more sense.
Definitely the DEF CON ones. They were the highlight for me, to be honest. That was just a crazy day.
Yeah, incredible. And yeah, the start the hackathon, it was wonderful because the whole Starknet team was there. And I think you got to meet basically all of them. We all had a chat with all of them. They were wonderful people. I saw you chatting with all of them.
Yeah, I got to talk with Eli and Yuri, and all the Starknet PMs and everybody else in that ecosystem. It's just a really great bunch of people.
And one of the other outcomes is we ran into somebody who has just joined the team as a core lord.
Ah, yes, Amaro. What a I mean, that made the whole Amsterdam trip worth it. Even just that, we bumped into Amaro, who's now a core lord, who was actually participating in the hackathon, learning some Cairo and doing some front end stuff. And Lord Deham got talking with him, and he happened to be an incredible professional artist. And I explained we red pilled him on the whole lootverse, and it really captured his imagination. And now he's dropped everything, and he's going to come join the team full time to really build out the visual aspect of the realms, which we know, is we're going from low fidelity to high fidelity, and this is just one step to build that out.
Yeah,
bringing this professional artist in.
Yeah, I think that a commentary on the loot universe is that there are so many builders in here attracted by the kind of composability and the sort of groundbreaking use of a token, but perhaps light in some of the creative disciplines. So to find somebody like Amaro who's got the blend of technical understanding, game design, he's been working in game studios for his career, but incredibly creative, an amazing illustrator, and also strong kind of creative direction skills. I think that that's those kind of people. We need more of those people to if we're on that journey from low fidelity to high fidelity. and I think he's going to be an absolutely wonderful addition to the Realms like ecosystem and universe and the loot universe more generally. So I think we'll get him on. So we won't talk too much about that now because he'll be around. So we'll get him on. But that was a kind of like top line on sort of latest news. Do you want to go through what's happening from a development perspective? What you're working on at the moment? What's going on?
Yeah, so we've got a few things in the works. You know, we haven't shipped as fast as I would have liked. Amsterdam slowed that down a little bit, um, but it was rewarding either way. Um, so you know, I'm consumed with the Starknet code base right now. It's you know we're running it on Girly, and I'm iterating on the code base, and you know making it more efficient and really building out the CLI right now. That's kind of what I have been doing for the past 2 weeks. Well, actually, more longer than that, but that's kind of been my core. Um, and you know, at the same time, Redbeard, Tenox um, are connecting up the contracts to the user interface. You know, it is a I think sometimes you know you know what we're doing here like is like there hasn't been any copy paste like what could have been done on you know with Solidity, and there's a lot of infrastructure that we've had to build. So you know the indexer, the client, and the contracts, and then also building on the you know Starknet has taken longer than I initially thought. That was my I think sometimes I'm a little bit too over ambitious. Well, not not as good with my timelines as I should be. But anyway, um, so yeah, that's like where the game state's basically in it. It's complete. It's fixing bugs and you know improving efficiency right now. Um, and so actually today I was just been working on the AMM and getting it to a usable state on Girly. Um, so along with that's the whole game side of things that's moving forward, and then you know we've got D Siege, which is moving ahead. You know it's been delayed because of the stability reasons of Starknet, and we really wanted to launch it um, when you know Starknet was in a stable state, so you know it wouldn't just break. But that's moving forward, so we should have an update on that very soon. And then we're also there has been a slightly stealthish project in the works called Bibliopedia,
Ooh.
which you would have seen if you're looking at the GitHub hooks. But it's a on-chain wiki where people can catalog stories and connect up points of interest on the atlas. And this is all going to be stored on Arweave and uses Starknet to store specific bits of data as well. And so you'll be able to write stories that connect up realms, loot items, loot bags, GAs, and any other assets that get supported on the atlas into this kind of interactive wiki type of deep linked application. So yeah, that's Abrax has been leading the charge in that, and DHAM's been assisting in bits and pieces. So yeah, that's kind of the core of it. Oh, actually, hang on. The other big news is Amaro is starting to build out the Lords and Ladies collection, which is art and dev combined. And like, there's been a lot of chatter about that for the past few months, and you know, my thinking was, you know, if we are going to do a collection like this, it's got to be really great. It can't just be another PFP. And so, you know, we'd been looking for artists for a while, and you know, it's hard to come across a great artist that gets your vision, and that also, you know, understands Web3 and you know is willing to, you know, run with some low-level ideas. So it was refreshing to hear Amaro's take on it, and so you know, it's going to be really exciting to see what he comes up with on that. And the other dev thing was the Unreal Engine 5 kind of, you know,
A little sneak peek. Yeah.
Little
Go
sneak,
on. Tell us more.
Yeah, so that's like that came about from, well, Coinspiracy did the original SVG renders of the realms, the 2D flat map ones. Then DHAM came along and upscaled them and ran some scripts to generate these height maps. And then, was thinking, well, what's after that? And then started to see some crazy Unreal Engine 5 demos, and I was like, well, look, this is the craziest thing that you can do right now. So, well, surely someone can upscale these things into Unreal Engine. And yeah, and I got talking to Anders in Amsterdam, and I just told him, like, look, this just crank the shininess up, and like, there's not a game yet around it. It's just, let's pull this height map in and create this monster map and just run around it. Like, that'll be an achievement in itself. It's the whole super low fidelity to insane high fidelity path. So it's just it's a stepping stone for a high fidelity type game using the base realm map. So yeah, that's the kind of story of that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
really exciting. I mean, I know that it's for the pipeline. It's not the kind of first thing on the roadmap, but it just shows it shows I think people are buying into the kind of concept of on-chain gaming.
It's a world build.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing journey. That whole low fidelity to high fidelity, and at points you will be running around your realm or your enemy's realm or your neighbor's realm on a quest or
DHAM and I's plan was, when he got started on those higher fidelity ones from the 2D, we're like, goal is, let's shake hands in VR on a realm. That's the goal. So we're one step closer. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so and I know that you're actually playing the game in the CLI, and so at the moment you are effectively tuning the game.
Correct. Yeah. So the game, this is the thing with on-chain games, is that there isn't just the Atlas is going to be the one client for the game, but we can interact with the game through the CLI. And someone else can make their own client as well. And from a development cycle, the CLI will always be the most advanced version of the game, because it's where we'll first add any new functions, and then from there, then it will move into the visual client. It'll always be a step behind in that regard. And the tuning that we're doing now is, and look, I don't expect us to nail the tuning the first time around. This is why we will run like an alpha, like a non-financialized version of the alpha, where we can tune everything, and get things right. It's like, perhaps the 24-day cycle might need to be shortened, for example, for a production. My current thinking is it does. Small tuning around combat mechanics and whatnot. Because when we do launch the production financialized game, we want it to be as tuned as possible. We can tune as we go, but it's going to be easier to tune in the alpha rather than in production.
And talking about the alpha, I think this is a good time just to sort of dovetail. And that's not right, but just to talk about where StarkNet is at in terms of their alpha, in terms of their testnet alpha and their mainnet alpha, and what the plan is in terms of testing the game on StarkNet alpha testnet.
Yeah, well, it is actually running on Gurley, so that's what I'm interacting with in the CLI. So it's running on the testnet right now at the game state. And so if anyone actually is, knows their way around a CLI, we can't be troubleshooting people that, unfortunately, at this point, like if you know your way around a CLI, you should be able to use it. But I wouldn't suggest doing it unless you do. You might spend half your time trying to just get set up. But if you do know, definitely have a go at it and reach out to myself.
Just go into the builders chat maybe and say hello.
Go to the builders chat and just drop in any problems that you have. I know CodeMonkey has been graciously working through some of the readmes, which are they're a little cryptic right now, but like anything open source, it's growing. And everybody that downloads it finds like a small bug in it in terms of the README and the setup. So thanks CodeMonkey for doing the hard work there, and Threep as well. From Crypts and Caverns is he's really part of the Core Lords really. He's been kind of being the guinea pig in the whole modular approach. Has identified some definitely improvements in how we can improve the code base for the next builder to come along and build a module, make it cleaner and smoother experience. Because it is, we're building from scratch here, so everything's an iteration, and you never get anything right the first time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the hooking up of the interface and the testing that will be kind of like a broader testing where kind of more people can get involved through like an actual interface. That's basically the next step in terms of testing.
So a lot of that's connected up already to a client. It's just I don't want to give a timeline, but we're really close. Redbeard's been connecting up the functions as we go, and we're improving our development cycle as well. And so everything's a constant improvement.
Yeah, cool.
But it's getting close.
Okay, cool. So I mean that's and just some context. Starknet, they've opened up the Starkgate bridge, which allows people to port over valuable assets like ETH, but it's very limited at the moment because there is the possibility that whatever you send over may be lost or broken at the moment because the network is being tested. So the game will be tested on the Gurley Starknet Alpha testnet. And watch this space. We'll let you know when you can come along and play through through the front end user interface. But if you want to come and play in the CLI, just come to Discord and say hello if you know your way around that sort of thing. Okay, cool. All right, lovely. So I think we've probably already gone over time. Never mind. This is the first one. It's good to get like a proper catch up in. I think what's really nice is just have a look at what the community's been up to. And I'd say, how cool is this? I mean, it's been a pretty amazing collaboration between Brick and Realms.
This is what we got to do. The next thing in the Unreal Engine is scale one of these things up, because bricks and voxels, like they're amazing, like architectural prototyping, like building blocks, but like they're still low fidelity voxel at the end of the day, and so to really make an immersive VR experience, we want to go higher fidelity than this, but now we can take these creations and scale them up into Unreal Engine 5, and then we can start walking around at them. Now that'll be insane.
Yeah, I mean they are. They are.
This is like Rivendell, don't you think?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And just to sort of jump over to, to the Twitter feed, and if you haven't seen it already, where are we? This, I think, just to sort of like helps you to imagine that, in the goodness of time, you're going to be wandering around these wonders, and wandering around your realms.
Yeah.
And sliding down big mountains.
Look at the distance rendering of this. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, if you're watching this, it's you're watching a compression of a compression of a compression. So it's going to be, if you want to go and see this in full fidelity, you probably need to go to the Discord again, probably.
Yeah. I guess
Twitter compresses it, and now obviously this is for a Zoom call. So
this is insane, right? Like the sheer scale of this map. I mean, this is this is just like the map rendered up, and the default Unreal Engine character plopped in. Yeah. But it shows what's possible, It
does. And this is it's true to the SVG file. It's true to that generated SVG file that was created, within a couple of days of the original loot mint. It's just wild.
Exactly.
And it's
wild, right?
Yeah, it's kind of got this far already. and what's it been, 6 or 7 months. So and this is, this is not this is it's coming via Cairo. Do you want to speak to the technology that allows the kind of link between Unreal Engine and the Cairo?
Yeah, look, I think it's still pretty early. The Redline project, those guys are doing some pretty cool things. They popped that demo, which you should put in the show notes or whatever we call them, the Jangle notes. There's a really crazy Unreal Engine. There it is. It's so those guys have this was totally news to me. I'm not really an Unreal Engine developer. I've started to download it. I probably will screw around in it, but my focus isn't on building this visual asset right now, obviously. But you can connect up. Like in theory, you can make a Starknet wallet within Unreal, sign in, and perhaps you have 8 loot items in your in your wallet. You hit the Starknet endpoint and it pulls them in, and so you're wearing your items which are which you own on Starknet. So
yeah, it's amazing.
That'll be insane. Like, this is so early. Like, I think, I mean, my thinking from back in November was, end game of gaming is like, Starknet plus Unreal, and here it is, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah. It's and I guess the first thing that is being built is the base layer of this ecosystem, the settling game, where people will be building their empires and raiding and gathering resources and stealing resources. But in parallel, these kind of other work streams, these other sort of like other ways of interacting in this world, in this universe, are being built in parallel, so that there's just always going to be things on the roadmap that expand out your agency as a lord or lady or adventurer in the Realms universe, which is really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to walk around this thing. This would be amazing.
This is like going on holiday.
Yeah.
I'll stay in the bell tower, maybe over here. And then this is another one. This is again. Just look at this, amazing.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Ravilo.
So zen.
Yeah.
So zen.
I guess this is the entryway kind of here to the pagoda.
It's definitely a little monk meditating at the top level there.
Yeah. That's sort of, we could do Realms cribs. Wonderful. Running out of time. Okay. Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So as was probably predicted, we've over-jangled. We've jangled too far today. Let's just wrap up by saying that what I wanted to say is how you can get involved. If you're watching this and you're not already part of the community, you can just go onto the Discord, and there's lots of different ways to get involved, whether that's as a builder, as somebody who wants to come along and contribute from an art perspective, to take part in something like voxel builds and promotions and activities. The GitHub is there if you want to come along and start messing around with the code. Is there anything you'd like to say in terms of like how people can get involved?
All the code is open source, and so if there are any, we're building the client in React, and so React is quite approachable, front end piece of code. And if you are, aspiring developer or want to learn it, the best thing you can do is contribute to a project or try to build something. And so this is an opportunity to build alongside us and help build this world we'll help build this world with us. So there's that. And if you want to develop a side, I mean, you can really dive into Cairo if you want to start chewing some glass, and you like that type of stuff. But yeah, if you are like aspiring blockchain dev as well, like you've learned some Solidity, I'd be happy to run you through Starknet and Cairo, because it is shaping up to be, there's a lot of hype around it. I think the hype is sometimes misunderstood. it's like this new, like zero knowledge proofs are like the next computing platform. They just, it's like um, it's like compressed computation. In That's how I like to see it. Um, and so it is going to enable these new experiences and like these new universes running on chain that are totally provable. Um, and so there's never been a better time to learn it. Right now, it's like super early in its life cycle. It's kind of like what Solidity was like in 2015. And so that's from the development side. But like if you want to contribute, uh, just jump into the Discord, join the conversations. Start thinking about some lore. Hopefully, we drop this bibliopedia up quite soon, and you can start writing some lore into the bibliopedia.
Yeah, and I guess it's a very meritocratic world in the Discord.
Yes,
I mean,
very
most of the
idea
core lords are
meritocracy.
people who have turned up and done something and then being given some support and continue to do that thing and then have ended up joining the team. So
Definitely.
it's and so I think the thing about Cairo is that it's a new language. People have only got a 3-month head start on you. Like if you've been using Cairo for 3 months, 2 months, you're already an OG, so that you can definitely come in and catch up and contribute to this world. And it's going to be around for a long time. So
it's early days. There's going to be a lot of need for Cairo devs.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll wrap up. I think we went pretty much double the amount of time that we intended, but that's cool. It was a good catch up. Next time a bit shorter. Thank you very much, Loaf, for joining me for a Jangle.
Thank you. I look forward to the next Jangle.
Yeah, I'm secretive in the Discord and on Twitter. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.